This is the bowling pin shoot held at the Wolverton Mountain Gun Club on Saturday, 15 March 2014. This video will be an introduction and overview. Legend has it, bowling pin shoots were created by Richard Davis of the Second Chance Body Armor Company, who demonstrated the effectiveness of his product by shooting himself while wearing it, then immediately shooting some bowling pins off a table to demonstrate he was not incapacitated. One can expect local and regional variations in rules and setup, but this match should be representative of its kind. This is a low-cost match and is easy for most clubs to set up. Pins are acquired used from bowling alleys. Tables can be little more than a sheet of plywood resting on sawhorses or barrels. Shooting distance is approximately 7 yards. Eye protection is especially important as ricochets are common. Setup and rules for this match at this club are as follows. Before scoring begins, shooters have an opportunity for a brief warm-up and function test on steel plates in an adjacent shooting bay. Experienced shooters, sure of their equipment, often forego this to conserve ammunition. Equipment consists of a modern handgun, either revolver or autoloader, a holster which completely covers the trigger area, and as many magazines or speed loaders as the shooter wants. For the usual setup, pins are placed in a line on a 3-foot deep table. Major calibers, using the same formula as the IPSC power factors, have the pins placed at the front edge, while minor calibers have the pins placed halfway toward the rear edge. 22s have the pins placed on the rear edge. For most stages, the requirement is to make the pin completely leave the table. At this club, the first stage consists of 5 bowling pins in a straight line. The shooter begins with a safe, fully loaded, holstered weapon and wrists above shoulders. On signal, the shooter engages until all pins have been knocked completely off the table. The second stage is set up the same as the first, but the shooter may load no more than 6 rounds to begin, and his reloads may hold no more than 6 rounds each. The shooter begins this stage with hands at sides. The third stage is again set up the same, but the shooter begins with only 4 rounds in the weapon, forcing a mandatory reload, though his reloads are unlimited. The fourth stage has 6 pins set up in a bowling-style triangle. The fifth stage has 5 pins in the usual straight line on the table, and a 6th pin below the table, which may not be engaged until after a mandatory reload. The shooter begins seated with hands on knees and the weapon on the table before it. For this stage, pins are not required to leave the table and may only be knocked over. Sometimes this stop pin must also be engaged with one hand only. Sometimes this is specified as the weak hand. This club also combines a brief steel plate stage consisting of 5 plates at 8 or more yards. Each plate must be made to react, and the center plate must be hit last. This club has each shooter engage these plates 3 times, and the slowest of the 3 runs is discarded. The total time for steel and for pins are combined, and the fastest total time wins. This is further divided into categories such as major and minor power, revolver versus autoloader, men versus women, novice or junior, etc. Here is the safety and rules briefing.
Safety briefing! Hey Brian, listen to Dave.
15 March 2014, Wolverton Gun Club.
Wolverton Mountain Gun Club, March 10 shoot. We're also, part of your fee today goes to Cowlitz Hospice as our charity contribution. We're here to have fun, but to have fun, there's some basic safety rules we have to abide by. We observe the 180 rule, the line around you, above you, below you. If your muzzle breaks that or comes close, if it comes close, you're going to hear muzzle, muzzle, and if it goes closer or beyond, it's going to be a DQ and you're going to be through for the day. Any round that goes on the outside our target backstops, into the tub wall, up with the danger of going off range, right at your feet is a DQ. Watch your finger as you're loading, unloading, and especially clearing jams. You want to see the finger up and out of the trigger guard. That's so the RO knows you've got it out of the trigger guard, but it's also guaranteed it's not going to slip. We're running a cold range here for this event, so the only people with loaded weapons will be those at the line after the RO has given the make ready command. The safe area for you to holster up unholster is your vehicle. Please don't shoot that either. We got our pretty much typical pin and blade format today. Anything I'm leaving out? Other clubs.
The normal second Saturday of the month pin match, same basic format is kind of.
Pins aren't even.
End of this month, the 30th, will be a 3-gun match here. Start at, sign up at 8, walk through at 9, we'll start shooting about 9:30. 50 rounds of each. If you don't miss, I'll get you through, but you need to bring more.
Slugs. Are there any slugs?
No slugs this time.
No slugs, no buckshot, right?
No. Next month, we'll, actually in the end of April, we're going to have another match, so kind of be thinking of that. You need 4 slugs, and you'll need to be able to swing your rifle.
Cool. On the 3-gun match, we're planning, or Dan's planning on some popping targets, so observing the 7.5-8 shot size is going to be extremely important.
Yeah, we'd like to keep it on the range.
Yeah, I don't want it off the range.
Eye and ear protection.
Eye and ear protection is mandatory for all shooters and all observers. We will get some broken bullets, some whole bullets occasionally coming back off the pins, and the plates will bring back a fair amount. That's why we shoot it beyond the 8-yard minimum, to let that dissipate before it finds us.
The next video will show stage 1.